Mackenzie Standifer sure has been busy lately, huh? Between trying to spin getting fired from Teen Mom OG, taking care of Ryan Edwards, and being very pregnant, she's definitely had her hands full. It must be exhausting to have so much drama in your life, but somehow, she's managed. Let's do a quick recap, just for fun, okay? Last year, we learned that Ryan Edwards was addicted to heroin. Well, first we learned that he was addicted to something, thanks to some heartbreaking scenes of Mossy book out on Teen Mom OG. Fans had suspected that something was up with Ryan for a long time because honestly, he's been filmed looking super high for a while now. And then when we saw him nodding off while driving himself and Mackenzie to their rushed parking lot wedding, it became painfully clear that something was very wrong. During that terrifying scene, Mackenzie was heard asking Ryan if he'd taken Xanax, but a few months later, after he came back from rehab, he admitted that he'd been shooting up heroin. Oh, and another thing happened when he came back from rehab. He tried hitting up girls on Tinder for hookups, because that's something newlyweds do. Things were weird for a while between him and Mackenzie, or at least they seemed that way on the show, but in January, she became pregnant. Because hey, why not? We didn't hear about the pregnancy until March, when it was discussed on the show, and although it didn't come up until the last couple of episodes of the season, it was super awkward. Ryan didn't seem interested in having another baby at all. At one point, he even told Mackenzie to call him when the kid turned 3. Coincidentally, he was arrested the same week the pregnancy news broke. He'd violated the parole he'd received from a previous arrest after failing a drug test, and although he didn't face any real consequences for anything, he and Mackenzie both sort of went into hiding after that. But unless you're thinking that maybe they're back in the spotlight for good reasons, don't get your hopes up. They got back on Instagram and did an interview because they've been fired from Teen Mom OG. According to reports, Mossy threatened to quit unless MTV stopped filming them, and not because she was being petty, but because she believes Ryan is still using, and she doesn't want their son to be able to see footage of that anymore. It seems like there was a bit of time before MTV decided what to do, and during that time they hired Bristol Palin to replace Mossy. But eventually, they decided to stick with their OG Golden Girl, and last week, they informed Ryan and Mackenzie that they were out. As Ryan explained it, they didn't want to see another recovering addict storyline. So they're writing us out of the show right now and making it seem like we dipped out on our baby, on Bentley and on everyone. And that's just not the case. In addition to making statements about how wonderful everything is, and how wrong Mossy is, they've also been very active on Instagram. Ryan's been rambling about how we'll all learn the truth soon, and Mackenzie's been sharing updates on her pregnancy. And yesterday, she shared a rare full-body bump pic. A lot of people don't like Mackenzie because they think she's manipulative and mean and all sorts of bad things, but she looks amazing here, right? She's also looking pretty big. She's more than halfway through her pregnancy already. Ryan has said that she's due in October, and sources have claimed that her exact due date is October 16th, so we've got less than 3 months to go before a new Edwards baby is born. They're having a boy, and though they haven't announced a name yet, a few reports have stated that they'll name him Jagger. We're still nervous about all of this, because it's hard to be excited for a pregnancy when the father is as big a mess as Ryan is, but let's hope for the best, okay?